looking at a few different methods you can use to practice your katas during lockdown in a limited space that you might have at home. The first method we're going to use is really simple. It's just doing the top half of the kata, and it uses a really small amount of space because we're not going to be using our feet. So if we take hand shoulder for example, start with our left low block to the left, punch, right low block to the right, hammer fist, punch. And you can carry on to the front with the low block and the 3 high blocks. And when you get to here, you have to turn around to face the opposite direction. It doesn't really matter what you do with your feet, but as you do, just make sure that you're getting your block preparations like you would when you do the kata normally. And then you can continue on from there, moving towards the back. And again, as you do your turn, get your block preparation so that you're doing everything properly with the top half. Now to build on that a little bit, you may have noticed that I've picked my hallway as the setting for this video, because when I'm facing the side of it like I am now, it gives me very limited space forwards and backwards. It gives me a little bit more room left and right though. So now I'm going to do exactly the same thing, but this time if I've got the space, I'm going to use it. So when I go to my left at the start of the kata, I'm going to drop into the forward stance when I do the low block. You'll have to excuse the camera angle because of the limited space. But now I haven't got room to do a full step into my punch. So to be able to make sure I'm practicing stepping into the stance properly, I'm going to retract my front foot back to give me the room and then step fully into the forward stance and punch. Now I can do my turn, and because I'm going this way, I've got space, so I'm using my stances and the retraction step if needs be. Now when I go to the front, I haven't got room, so I'm just going back to doing the kata with my arms only, with the top half. So you can see how that would work. Again, I then use my turn, dropping into the stance this way. To be able to make sure I'm practicing the parts that I missed out, I now have to start the kata facing 90 degrees to where I'm facing now. So I'm now going to be facing that way. So again, I've now got space in front of me, whereas I didn't before, and I've got limited space to my left and right. So the sections where I had space before, I now have to do the kata using just the top half. But I'm able to step into the sections that I wasn't able to before. Which means that I can now practice the whole kata with the steps, but just broken down into 2 parts. Now, those are really good ways of running through the katas, keeping them fresh in your mind, but if you really want to make some good progress on them and making some improvements, I'd recommend breaking the katas down into different sections and repeating those sections a few times and trying to make improvements every time you do it. So if we take this section that we just did at the end shoulder, the turn into the low block and then the 3 high blocks, what you can do is when you get to the turn at the end, stop and go back to the turn at the beginning. It's really important to start and finish with the turns, even if it's just a small portion of the turn, because it gives you some reference as to where you're moving to and from. And it also gives you the opportunity to train part of the movement in the turn as well. Once you practice that section, made some improvements, then you'd pick another section and improve that. If you're struggling for ideas of how to improve each section, I'd really recommend going and checking out our step-by-step with a senpai series. Senpai Amy's been breaking down the Heian katas, and she's got some really cool little tips and tricks and drills of how you can make some really good improvements to your katas. So I hope that helps. If you've got any questions, leave a comment, drop us a message on Facebook or Instagram, or send us an email, and hopefully we'll get to see you all soon.